What's going on, everybody? This is John from ATL Go Format, and I'm here with.
Kyle Yarborough.
And what place did y'all get?
Our team got second place at the Retro 3v3.
Nice. And what'd you play?
I played Hero Frogs.
Nice. Let's get into it.
Alright, so I played obviously the triple substitute, 2 swap frogs, I never wanted a third, 2 dupe frogs, 1 uni, and only 1 treeborn.
The one treeborn.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I just tried to manage it as much as I could. I didn't want to just recklessly summon it back if I wasn't going to be immediately using it. So it's not just randomly getting banished by Kais or getting punished by Black Wings.
I was about to say you weren't afraid of the crow or anything?
So there's times where like the crow would hit the treeborn frog, but then they just got punished with the miracle fusion later on in the turn. But it was very rare that it did. Most of the DD crows that hit me were kind of impactful, but when I saw this plus a miracle fusion, it just wasn't enough for my opponent.
Gotcha.
I played Stratos, Ocean, Infernal Prodigy, 2 Malicious, Malicious Edge.
Pretty standard hero package.
Yeah, I didn't want to play the alias. I do like it. I do see the times where it like gets hero names, but like the malicious was nice with like 1-for-1 malicious or like future fusion malicious when you have substitute, because it not only gets an extra card out of your deck, but it gets your substitute, uses your prog engine online.
Yeah.
And then it puts the extra hero back in your graveyard.
Yeah.
And they're just nice discard outlets. Played 1 Junk Synchron. I really wanted to go play 2. I didn't have enough time to get the second one in. I didn't know what I would cut, but the one came in clutch just fine, as like the other target with Rhoda. More times than not, my Rhoda was searching for the Junk Synchron, and then there was plays where like I have like a dupe face. I have a dupe face up that I summon back with this and like a swap frog. And then I just bounces back with Swap Frog, and I just keep looping them back and forth because they can't.
Yeah, that's pretty
Dupe
crazy.
Frog.
Does he negate their effects?
He does negate the effect of the Dupe Frog, but it's still 2,000 defense when it goes back.
That's a big old booty.
It's still a lot for them to try to go deal with. Triple Caius.
Have to.
Yeah, outside of the malicious, these were my only tribute summons. I didn't
You ever
play
brick
the
with
Ryza.
him?
What was that?
You ever brick with him today?
I did not brick with this. If anything, I feel like I top decked it way too many times.
Wow.
But the card just came in clutch, and that's not a bad thing that I top decked it too many times.
Right.
Like if I can play extra of just Kais, I would. Probably my favorite monarch of classic monarchs.
For sure.
And then I played some battle traps, or battle hand traps. 1 battle fader, 1 gores, and 1 Tragodia.
How'd you like the fader and Godia?
So fader was really good because it allowed me to go like be probably a little more conservative with my removal traps and like the back row I have in general. Battle Fader also with like Torrential just ended up being like a dark hole in my opponent's turn. Like when they tried to establish the board, they weren't respecting Fader, and they just felt comfortable because they saw that I had back row, so they're like, oh, you can't Gores me here, so summon Fader, flip Torrential, and I just got the right kick to your board. Tragodia, I played. I want to say I played 2 mirror matches, but there's plenty enough overlap with the cards that are in the format for Tragodia just to start stealing monsters.
Right.
And then with the Junk Synchron, it can start modulating its levels. Also, there was times where Tragodia just ended up big. Like I can maintain 4 cards in hand. It's at the 2400 wall.
Yeah.
So that's it for all my monsters. I played 1 1-for-1, 1 E-Call, 1 Rhoda. For the fusion spells, just triple miracle fusion and 1 feature fusion. Feature fusion was just an engine starter. It put pressure on my opponent. They started looking at it, so they felt like they had to go deal with it. They didn't look at it in the sense that if I have feature fusion up, it will conflict with cards like Gores, or it will conflict with my Treeborn Frog. It just made them. It became a lightning rod for removal, and more times than not, like the Rykos were starting to hit this card. In terms of like steel cards, brain control because you have to. Soul exchange because it's really good with substitute, and then the 1 enemy controller. I was floating back and forth between 2 and floating with 1 on the side, but I just settled on just the 1.
Did you ever miss the second one?
Not really. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just from the games that we played today, I didn't miss it. Didn't miss the second one. That's not to say it could come up in this like later on where I don't want the second one. 1 heavy. The 1 MST, Dust Shoot.
Have to.
Yeah, have to. Mirror Force, Torrential, and then I played 4 discard traps. I played 2 Red Geki Break, 1 Wing Blast, and 1 Karma Cut in the main.
Wow. How did it ever break for you? Like, did you always have material, the discard?
Yes, so I was able to just maintain my hands enough so that all the cards were able to be activated and resolved in some effective way. Probably the only time where it wasn't effective was in the finals, where I had a Raigeki break and it just got Icarus attack, and just the pressure from Black Wings was just too much. But other than that, seeing these two cards in the main, not so much this one, but some much more of the Karma Cut. My opponent started playing a little bit more differently because they started respecting this card because they saw that it was in the main deck, so they don't know the number that was being played. This card randomly started piecing out graveyards, wearing a Junk Synchron, summon back a Raikou, and then hit the Raikou with this, and it got 2 more out of the graveyard.
Yeah, that's pretty nutty.
Yeah, so it's 41 card main deck. I enjoy playing it. For my extra, shout out to these tokens. Shout out Jamal. It's time to get juicy. Jamal right over here.
Shout out the man himself.
Yes, you gotta have it. We're not gonna look at these tokens. Shout out retro tokens. Bring these back for YCSs, please. I enjoy the coin, but the YCS tokens, I miss them a lot.
Wizard, that'd be cool.
Exactly. But obviously there's 3 Absolute Zero. 1 Chimera Tech. This came up a lot.
Really?
Well, against my matchup with Machina, but the fact that I was able to go summon this twice was,
it
was
pretty good when you can resolve it.
Yeah, and the rest was just some synchros, Armory Arm, Catastor, Junk Warrior. I don't have Magical Android, so I didn't play it. Brownic, Goyo Guardian, Black Rose, Stardust, Thought Ruler Archfiend, Colossal Fighter, Red Dragon Archfiend, and Mistworm.
Pretty standard. You ever make this guy?
No, not today. There was times where I could, but instead what I did is I just went for the OTK line, where it ended up being I drew 1 for 1. Well, clear the back row. 1 for 1 with a malicious. Malicious summon itself, summon out Substitoad, get out. Swap Frog, start cycling through my Frog Engine. You have your Substitoad and Swap Frog in attack. Summon Junk Synchron to summon back one of your frogs. Make this. This is going to gain 1100 attack. This. Miracle Fusion to out this, and this is exactly 8,000. So it's enough
That's
to
crazy.
go exactly per game. But yeah, that's it for my extra deck.
Now onto the side deck.
For the side, 2D Crow. I was floating back and forth. I have a bunch of 2-ofs in here, so I apologize for people who play sets, but I had a lot more testing I wanted to do. So two Snowman Eater.
How'd you like Snowman Eater?
Snowman Eater was very nice in multiple instances. Sometimes when my hand was good enough to start with Swap Frog, it was just more beneficial for me to pitch this than to take the turn off to set this and hope they just didn't have a remove for it. Cyber Dragon, you got to play 2 different arts. The Fiends, just 2 of them.
Cards are nutty.
Lightning Vortex, 2 Smashing Ground, 2 My Body as a shield.
Wow, the 2.
Yeah, I love this card a lot. It just randomly will do stuff that you just don't think of. I had a hard time against King Tiger Wang Fu because it just blows up the board. I had Infernal Prodigy, special summon the Infernal Prodigy. Wang Fu activates and triggers. You just activate my body, wipe it off the field.
Yeah, that's
so
pretty
I got
good.
to start playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Good
again.
against deck Debbie too.
Exactly. Don't say that. And then 2 Dust Tornado to put it out.
Sheesh.
Overall, the deck did fine. It's loads of fun to play. I only lost my match round 1 and in the finals, and I won the rest of mine.
Nice. Any changes you would make?
Probably just the ratios in your side, in the side. Maybe the second Treeborn. There's a lot that I'd probably change. Just here or there, depending on how I'm feeling, depending on how the meta's shaping. But
yeah,
overall, I like the list. And if anybody's interested, just start with a stock list, see what you feel like, play towards your meta, and just play what you find optimal.
Agreed. And lastly, any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out my boys, shout out Taylor, shout out Jamal, shout out my boys who couldn't be here today, all the ones that are back home in Savannah, shout out our locals, Roll the Bones, if you're ever in Savannah, Georgia, stop by. Shout out CCS for hosting this play, shout out Atlanta Goat. It was a fun event today, we're looking forward to the modern one tomorrow. Also, shout out my YouTube and my TikTok. I make card alters. I take supers and ultras and put some patterns on it.
I thought that was the ulti Ash for real.
Yeah, they're kind of crazy, right? So I do requests and commissions if people are ever interested in them. It's Black Rose Customs. That's BLVCKROSE. Customs at Instagram and TikTok.
Awesome. Well, congrats again, and peace out, guys.